So I think that is most of what was going on, and Blizzard did say that to ease some performance issues in Time Risks, the maximum number of players in Thaldraszus has been lowered, particularly while the event is active. Yeah, it's just an example of sharding. There are 1 or 2 times where I've logged in. It's been like me and one other dude doing the time rift because it's sharded that aggressively. But that has actually got me thinking about something. Was there not a time, Matt, whenever sharding happened, like, only in old zones, and it didn't happen in the current expansion? Was there a time when that was the case? Because there's a lot of the time you go to Zaralek Cavern, and you just think, like, right, either this game's literally dead, or this is a sharding issue. Because there's sometimes I go to Zaralek, and even at decently similar times of the day, I go to Zaralek, it's empty. Other times, there ends up being a decent flock of players, and I know some of that will be randomness, but I'm also then wondering about the sharding. Certainly though in Zaralek, like, Zaralek is experiencing a very Forbidden Reach-like problem right now, where it's yeah, would you like to kill those rares? Better get some mates, because there's actually not enough people playing the content, which does make sense, because who's gonna just go around thinking, oh man, yeah, 1 Drake fragment, that's how I'm gonna use my time. No, they're gonna go do an M+.
Yeah, I think I saw, was it Mr. GM, I think even tweeted earlier saying, I think it's time to nerf Zaralek rares. Or like, yeah, that's the awkward part, but then do you really want to get stuck into a, like, version of the game where every 3 months or like, okay, everything from the past has been deleted in the way of you can solo it now? It's a very strange feeling, isn't it?
It's strange, but I think one would almost rather be able to go there and play that content. Because like, right now, it's not playable content for a lot of people who just want to log in and not have to do a lot of manual group finding. Because one of the things I've realized in MMOs, yes, like the group finder, find people to play with, that's fantastic. I do it all the time for the Elite World quests and that sort of thing. But, and this is something Guild Wars 2, I think, highlights really well, it's just this idea of solo co-op, where for some people, like, a part of being an MMO is they naturally found a big flock of players, they're doing their objectives. I think that's why people could get into such a flow in the Forbidden Reach, and it's that is no longer possible. Because even if they did nerf those, you could maybe have 2 or 3 people. Because, like, if people feel like they could slowly solo one, and maybe a bit quicker, like, duo or trio or whatever, maybe more people would actually go to the Zaralek Cavern. And then you'd actually have a higher population there doing that content, which in a way, it's like by lowering the floor, you'll increase participation, and then scaling will probably have some of those mobs health back up again, because people at least are confident that they can go there and accomplish their goal. So it's that thing, I think, that this expansion, more than some others, has shown, I think just because of its brisk pace, that designing content to last for a reasonable period of time within an MMO with vertical progression and a aggressive content cadence is like a real genuine tricky problem.
I wonder if it's an actual genuine tricky problem or if it's literally just a new problem.
That's a new problem.
Which I think is interesting now that we see them actually trying new things quite a bit. You see them actually be able to solve problems rather rapidly if they're, I guess I would say if they have the, like, I don't want to say organizational will, but they have like the need to solve it. Like if it's on someone's checklist, someone will go, oh, that's on my checklist, I can solve that problem. This isn't like, say, in the expansion that will not be named, that was before this one, where everyone goes, okay, here's a problem, and no one in the team seemed interested in solving it, or rather, the team as a whole didn't seem interested in solving it because it was part of design.
What's that thing? What did 915 represent? Apparently it represented more of like a bottom-up development thing where people in the team just had a little bit more latitude to go fix things. Now here's Brelshar in chat, who's just going around soloing these as a 445 Frost Mage.
Yeah.
You are geared to the tits. Congratulations.